Good morning, it's Sunday morning, it's about 9:15. Normally I would film Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but if I'm honest, I didn't really feel like it this week. So I apologise for that because I had a really good reading with Neil yesterday and he said how awesome my vlogs are and how real he enjoys them, that I'm real and honest and all of that. But I've had a bit of a depressive week this week. I just was struggling a little bit, if I'm honest. But I've got some things to catch up with. I've got some things to show you. So let's do it. So we've got some new things in here. Simon went to a gentleman's house in South Emsall whose mum sadly has gone into a care home and he has to clear a house out and he's discovered lots of old antiques and all sorts of stuff. So Simon went to help him sort of get rid of some of those things. Anyway, these are some of those things. So this one is an owl, and you know I'm a fan of owls. I love the fact that it's completely hand carved and it's literally in a piece of tree. It's fantastic. There's this awesome clock here, which is really beautiful, which I think we're keeping. We're keeping that one. There's this. Now, this didn't come from this lovely gentleman, but isn't this phenomenal? It's it's really heavy, and it's just awesome. I don't know what it reminds me of, but it's just fabulous. So there's that. Now, let me go in the other room. There we are, a globe that lights up. It's got a magnifying glass on the bottom as well, so you can have a really good look at the map. And it's brilliant. I think we're going to be selling this one in the shop. That's really cool. And not only that, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. There's some watercolours of the local area, lots and lots of things. So it was a really good meeting for him yesterday. Yesterday was really good in the shop. The week was terrible. But I'm going to explain that in a minute. And Simon's been busy this morning. He's been designing new guitars. So this one is a Sex Pistol guitar. As you can see, it's very cool. He's got some others as well that are going in the shop because we sold 2 guitars this week. So the guitars are flying out pretty quick. Here's some of the stuff that he's already done. There we go. So here's some of the artwork that he's already done. There's a couple more just behind. And that's the kind of stuff that he does with the guitars. And this all started with a guitar that looks like cheese. It's a cheese guitar. That was the first one I ever did. And since then he's done everything from steampunk to Sex Pistols to all sorts with cogs in them and just all these unique guitars. And the guitars that were in the shop they were just sort of standard really, but very nice guitars. Now we're going to have some of the artwork ones in, which is really nice. I finished the blanket for my brother, the blanket of love. And that's what I've called it, love blanket. So whenever he comes home, because he works away a lot, he's got a blanket that's, he can wrap himself in that makes him feel like he's loved and that there's family around him type thing. So I finished that. And Simon made me something yesterday. Let me just get it for you. It's probably not showing properly because it'll be back to front, but it's a jar of sad. Now this was his idea, which he gave me yesterday morning, which I think it's a really good idea. Now this week I've been struggling, my depression's been a bit crap and I've not really, wanted to do stuff, just resenting things, which is not like me. I'm not that kind of person, but yeah, I've been a bit struggly this week. So what he said was, write down and put in the jar the things that have made you sad. And it's in the jar and it's not in your head, it's not in your body. It's like what I suggest people to do that, struggle with not being able to organise themselves or their head's full of too much stuff, is get a piece of paper, write it down so it becomes out of your head. So it's not creating, even worse than that. I did a reading yesterday actually. And in that reading, one of the first things that came up was this black cloud above her head, this black cloud of grief. And she wasn't dealing with it. She wasn't allowing it to open, this box of grief that she had in her head. She was just locking it away and it was getting worse and worse. And I said, really, if you don't address these things, it's going to turn into a physical illness. That's how it works. So you really need to start addressing it. And I hope yesterday was, something really good for her to open up and say how she feels, because she can't talk about that stuff when she's at home. So being able to talk about it with me, I think really helped. It's sort of a counselling element, I suppose, of my readings, which I think is just awesome. I think it's great. So I suggested that she has therapy or counselling or something like that. So at least she has someone to talk to let all this out, because she's going to get ill otherwise. So anyway, in my jar of sad, there is rain, routine and Ellie. Now, rain has really got me down this week, because what tends to happen with my shop is no one comes in when it rains. Literally no one comes in. And this week we had snow as well. So no one came in. So it's pretty horrible. So it's having a sort of mindset as a shop owner to get online when no one's coming in. Maybe do, at those points, get on and do TikTok or Instagram or whatever. I think that would have helped me massively, because I struggled with it. And this week was super quiet. Saturday all kicked off. It was sunny and dry and everyone came in. It was madness. Saturday seemed to be that way now. But the rest of the week, just nothing because of the rain. The other one, number two is routine. I don't know if you're like this or not. Some people adore routine and it's really a good structure for them. But for me, it's never been a good thing. Routine for me, the same thing weeks on end, really gets me down. Whatever the things are, it's not necessarily important. It's the fact that I can't do it. I mean, when I had the studio, every day was different. Even though I had, routine lessons each week and routine things, there was always something a bit different. One day I'd be filming, the next day I'd be recording, the next day I'd be doing something else, photography, the next day I'd be selling the guitars and so on. So there was always difference, so it didn't feel like there was that routine. But at the moment, it's since having the shop, I've kind of dropped into this routine. And the shop's not a negative thing, I'm just pointing that out. It's just that the routine's really, it gets to me. Shop Monday, teaching Monday night. Tuesday, doing all my YouTube videos, recording and filming. Wednesday is go see Alex, followed by the Crystal Live. Thursday is in the shop and teaching. Friday in the shop. Saturday in the shop with readings. And it's been like that since October. And my head's starting to have a meltdown. But I have booked a break. I've booked Buxton. So in a few weeks, I'm going to Buxton with Alex. We're having a little weekend away. It's only a weekend, but it's something different. I'm going to go to Pool Cavern, which is a big cave, and just be somewhere different, do something different. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And then finally, Ellie, number 3 in my sad jar. It's stuck at the top. That's funny. It's stuck at the top. In my sad jar was, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there, feeling sad and, not being able to experience life with her. Because Alex is very much sort of daddy's, if you like, and Ellie was sort of connected to me, and I just feel like there's a big part of me that's gone. And I think it was Friday night, just before Simon got home from work, I was scrolling TikTok. And there's a psychic that I really like called Megan Elisa. And she's really good with the ethics and that kind of thing. So I enjoy watching her videos. Anyway, usually for her, she put up a video of her and her daughter. And she said, her soulmate. And I lost it. I was okay just before that. And then it was a trigger. And I just got really upset and a bit of a meltdown. So Simon was very caring and gave me hugs and everything when he came in, because he could tell that I'd been sad. I said, it's just one of those, it just got me. It just got me. So that's got in the I'm not going to cry. That's gone in the sad jar, because if I try and take it out of my head a little bit and deal with it and talk about it, it's going to be so much easier. Well, not easier, that's the wrong word, but it's not going to turn into a physical illness, to a point where, every day is just really difficult. because I feel like I've so much to do still. Thank you, Alfie. Whenever I sneeze, he has to kiss me better. Yeah, I feel like I've got so much more to achieve yet, so much more to do. I'm just really getting started with my psychic readings, if I, think about it. I've been doing it a while, but it really feels like I'm still getting started, and it makes me feel alive when I do the readings. It's a bit like when I teach. I get this sort of just happiness, this satisfaction, this makes me feel like I'm worth something. So yesterday was a big pick-me-up. I enjoyed it very much. Yeah, helping people the best way I can, or helping them just get it out of their systems, I think is so very important. So today it'll be second-hand shops surprise. I wasn't going to go. This week I've been like, I'm not doing it. It's more routine. I'm not doing it. But actually I really enjoy it. I like the second-hand shops. I like the antique stuff because it inspires me. I see things from the past that's really nostalgic. And I see wool and stuff like that, which really inspires me to, continue with things. So we're doing that, but I've got a few more ideas for today as well. Whether I get there, I don't know. There's a pop song that I keep hearing that I want to do a cover of, because it's a fun thing that I know I can sing each of the parts and I can sound a little bit like each of the singers. It's a girl band. So I've got that in my head. I also want to have my nails done, because I always enjoy that, especially on a Sunday. There's no one else in the shop. It's great. So I've got that in my head. Also, I found out yesterday that there is a D-Stash craft and sewing, like a fair, if you like, at Farmer Copley's, which is a big farm, which they have a farm shop and a restaurant and all of that, which is in Pontefract. It's well known. It's great. Anyway, they've got this craft and sewing wool D-Stash, and I might do that as well. And one other thing is, it was the 10-year anniversary of my dad passing away yesterday, and I sat and I looked at the clock at the exact time that he passed, and that really, that kind of affected my week as well. So today, because I was working late yesterday, I didn't really have time to go to the cemetery and put any flowers on, but that is definitely something that I want to do today. Get some flowers and go and put them on. So that's going to be my day, but stay with me and we'll see how I get on. Looks like somebody's having this shop. Look, they're ripping all stuff out. Ooh, it looks massive. So we've done the first charity shop. I just bought some wool. Simon got a book about architecture. And we're just walking down to the other one now, to Sense, which is in Pontefract. And she didn't have the lens. Don't know where it is. Some person's put it somewhere safe and they've not been in since. So they don't seem to know where it is. Never mind. One of them things, I suppose. So I'm outside Farmer Copley's, which is a sort of farm, local farm. I wasn't going to come. I was like, I don't think I'm bothered. But I've run out of some white that I needed. And I thought, well, there's a thing on. Why didn't I go? So it's upstairs. You go upstairs. I'll turn the camera around so you can have a look in a minute. Above the moo calf. And I've got loads. I wasn't going to bother because I was trying to jam too much into my day off, but I've got some nice purple wool, lots of sort of bits and pieces that are just brilliant for creating these really colourful kind of blankets. And I think I've got a bag full for about £4, which is just brilliant. But I still need the white because I'm doing a granny square scarf, which is the first thing I ever crocheted when I came back to it. And I've run out of white, so I've got some white, but it's not quite thick enough. So if I can get any that actually match, I'm going to head to the range next, I think. I am going to go get my nails done, but I'm going to go to the range and then round to get my nails done. So you can probably just see there's the moo calf, and then you go up the stairs and the D-Stash is upstairs. So there's sewing, materials, wool, anything crafty really. It's quite full of stuff, but I thought it might be a little bit bigger than it was. But I'm not disappointed. I've enjoyed it. It just got me out of breath doing the stairs. I wonder if there's a lift somewhere. Maybe I should have checked that beforehand. Oh, my breathing's bothering me at the minute. And it was an escalator, I didn't even have to do stairs. It's a bit disappointing really at the range. Massive shop, but just not much wool. Not really much at all. So I think I'm discovering what's in my area in terms of wool and stuff like that, and there's really not very much. The place that I've found that has the most wool so far is Home Bargains, and they have good value wool, but they only have 2 different sizes. They have standard and then they have like a double thickness, which is great, but they only have a few colours. So there is Castleford, obviously, that great shop that I went to last week, Susie Bloom's, who I just saw actually in the crafting thing. But hers is expensive, but I get why it needs to be expensive because she's got, you know, a shop and all that stuff going off. But yeah, I just thought there might be more. Turns out there isn't, so I think my next port of call is Hobbycraft. There's a Hobbycraft on the way into Leeds, which is about a half an hour drive. But I'm hoping they're going to have even more selection of wool. I don't need any more right now because I've got the white that I needed to finish things. But I think that will be the next port of call, a bit of Hobbycraft. I remember going to Hobbycraft with Ellie once. It wasn't a good idea because she spent a fortune. And she literally chose everything because she's very crafty. So yeah, I've got 3 white to finish off the thing that I'm doing. Now I'm going to go and get my nails done. Right, so it's 7 o'clock now. We've had our Chinese food. This afternoon's been quite nice. As you will see from the vlog, I've done a few things, had my nails done, went to a craft thing, went to the range, went to the cemetery, and for a few hours I've just been crocheting. I'm nearly there with my crochet squares. Got my squares ready to join together for a granite square scarf that I'm making. And yeah, that's kind of it for today now. I've got a glass of orange. I'm going to edit this very vlog and then probably get myself into pyjamas and get ready for bed. Tomorrow I'm in the shop. I'm also teaching tomorrow night and I've got some readings. Tuesday I'll be recording, filming for Eurovision stuff. And I'm not sure what I'm doing Tuesday night yet. It's normally the psychic night, so it just depends whether I feel like going or not. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. And get yourself a jar of sad. See if it helps. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, loves.